Bruh. I just sat and recorded this whole video and it was in focus. Professional YouTubers, whatever y'all need, I will like, I will share, I will comment, I will subscribe, because this is work. I did not know filming a video for YouTube would be this intricate, but I hope the sound looks right. I hope the sound is right, the lighting looks right, and we'll go again. We will go again. Take 2. Anyway, hello everyone, I am Robin. This is my channel, this is my platform. I am pregnant. This is a video to talk about my first trimester, what I was experiencing, planning for this pregnancy, how it went, and you know, where we are now. So if any of this first trimester stuff interests you, stay tuned. Okay, so this video, I have my computer in front of me to keep me on task. I have some water in front of me because I get out of breath quickly. And yeah, I am 28 years old. This is my first baby. I'm currently in my second trimester. I'm currently like halfway through. I'm 19 weeks and 6 days, which tomorrow I'll be 20 weeks, which is literally split it down the middle, halfway through a pregnancy. I can't believe I'm filming the first video for it, but you know, here we are. How I knew I was pregnant, some of the symptoms that I was experiencing in the first trimester. So what I knew of pregnancy was not what I experienced typically. Like the signs that kind of led me to think that I was pregnant was not the typical nausea or, oh my gosh, I'm running to, like, no, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like typical. Like they were normal symptoms that I was experiencing, but I was thinking of I was expecting a more textbookish type of notification that, hey, you are pregnant, but it doesn't work that way. So my period does not normally come on the exact same time every single month. So my cycle does not last, like every cycle that I have does not last 28 days or 30 days. They vary. They can vary from 28 days to 34 days or something like that. So me having a missed period or a late period was not a red flag for me, or that was not even what I was thinking. I was just thinking, my body was like, whatever, I don't feel like doing this right now, but gotta do it. Was not expecting it not to come on, but was not concerned when it didn't come on at the time that it was predicted to come on. With that, the time that my period was supposed to come on, I was experiencing a lot of cramping, which is not normal for me, but cramping happens. So I wasn't like concerned. That was not concerning for me either. I don't experience menstrual cramps, but that specific time I was like having some cramps, and I'm like, oh, I need to drink more water. I need to do better. Like I had too much fun on vacations, and now my body's like, we don't got time for this. We got to get everything out. Breast tenderness. This was extreme. This was the worst. Like my breast normally gets a little swollen, you know, a little sore here and there, but no, I felt my breasts like physically growing immediately. Like they were huge. Like my bras did not fit. Like within the first month and a half, I was like, what is going on? Like, why is my bras fitting so uncomfortable? When I went to go take a shower, the water hitting my breast was like, it felt like sharp. Like, it was like, oh my gosh, it was so uncomfortable. It felt like somebody was like chewing on my nipples. Like, it was just terrible. It was bad. It was bad. That was not normal. And I was just like, what is happening? Maybe this is the most intense. I'm thinking, look, maybe I'm turning 30. This is what 30-year-old periods are like. I don't know. I did not know, but still was not convinced of pregnancy. What was convincing was fatigue. My body required naps. And when I did not take a nap, I was dysfunctional. I was cranky. Yeah, no, I could not. Like, I worked overnight and I worked in the daytime. Even when I worked overnight, not during this pregnancy, but when I did work overnight, I stayed up that entire night. I had no issues with staying awake. I was working in the daytime and I was like falling asleep, like sleepwalking. Basically, I was a walking zombie, and I was like, wow, I need to drink more water. I need to like take vitamins. I need to eat better. I don't know. Nothing. It still was not pregnancy just yet. I put all those together. Something was like, let me check my app. I log and I'm just like, well, when is this thing supposed to come on now? Yeah, when I opened the app, it said that I was 13 days late. And I was just like, wow, this is pregnant. This is pregnant. That was looking at my phone. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm pregnant. Okay, let me go take 100 pregnancy tests to confirm that I'm pregnant, which I took these. I saved my pee sticks. These were taken Friday, August 13th. But yeah, those were the those were the main symptoms that alerted me to take a pregnancy test and find out that I was pregnant. Each week it was like something different. It's like your body is creating a whole human being. Things are going to change very rapidly. Like, I woke up literally on cue this week 6. Oh my gosh, I don't like blueberries anymore. Week 7, wow, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, it was just like that. So frequent urination was a big one because I felt that I would experience that more towards the end because, you know, positional baby is bigger. Your body has less space. Your bladder is right there. But in the beginning, I was going to the bathroom every 30 to 40 minutes, which was like, who has time? Who has time for this? I didn't really experience the nausea or morning sickness. It wasn't terrible, but I did have some nights where I just was like, didn't have an appetite. It wasn't like every single day, but like at least once a week, it would be like, I don't really want to eat this. I don't really want to eat anything. It was something like that. But it wasn't terrible. The morning sickness, or whatever people explained it, was like the least of my concerns. I was more concerned about how tired I was and what can I do to not be as tired, and my boobs blowing up. I didn't think that like just resolved maybe a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. My boobs, I'm like, is this my final form? Which is probably not, but yeah, those were the main things that I was experiencing. That was how I found out I was pregnant. Telling my partner, oh my gosh, it was amazing. Our reaction, like, he was so excited to find out that we're having a baby. I think it kind of caught him off guard because he came home from work one day. Our regular routine, I was like making dinner, and on the table I left all 11 pregnancy tests that I took with a bottle of, I think I bought a bottle of champagne, and just left it there for him. And I was just like, yeah, we're having a baby. I calculated my due date and I put the due date on these tests, which later we found out is not the actual due date, but I put the due date written down next to a bottle of champagne. It was, you know, a little corny stuff, but he was very excited to find out. It was all love. It was all love when he first found out. Where we started to plan like shortly after, like, where are we going to have this baby? How are we going to have prenatal care? Like, what, those were all the questions that came up immediately. Like, how am I going to maintain this pregnancy? And I knew I wanted to have a midwife versus a obstetric doctor, because midwives, they take a more natural, more holistic route versus being full-blown in American medicine with a obstetric doctor. I didn't really want that. I'm not completely against it. Well, I'm not against it at all, but I knew if I had the option, which I do, I would want the more natural, holistic route. So I chose a midwife. Finding a black midwife in Philadelphia, it was a task. It's not hard, but you do have to look. We looked for a black midwife, a black woman, to help us in this pregnancy. We went online. We just looked at different hospitals and looked at who are their providers there, because everything's always listed. The information is there. We just had to look for it. I knew that I wanted to have a doula. I am pro doula. If you don't know what a doula is, please go look it up. I knew I wanted to have a doula. I had in mind doulas that I would be willing to work with, just because I'm familiar with them, familiar with their social media presence. A few people I've met in person before, just because of the field that I work in. So I knew I wanted to have a doula. I'm still not like gung-ho on having a birthing plan, because I am a labor and delivery nurse, and I know how this baby runs the show, not me. So I can plan whatever I want, but the baby will decide at the end. But I know I wanted to labor at home, or my ideas were to labor at home with my partner and whoever like is going to support us, my partner. And then once I feel like I can't take anymore, or I'm so uncomfortable, or something just tells me go to the hospital now, I was going to go to the hospital. So I went to labor at home and then go to the hospital to actually deliver the baby. I don't want to make a solid birth plan. I do want to have like some type of ideas in my head, and those were what I wanted to do. Mentally preparing for all of what's to come. Watching YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, hence why I'm making this video. I liked to hear people's experiences, what they went through, how they dealt with whatever they were dealing with. So I watched all of those. I am a nurse, like I said, in labor and delivery. I'm familiar with hospital births. I wanted to look up and familiarize myself with more natural births and home births and see how people labored at home. But yeah, that's how I was preparing, just YouTube and reading. You can only be so prepared. And I don't want to stress myself or give myself anxiety about not being prepared, because it's like, who knows? That's how we prepped ourselves. I had him watching some videos about like birth, because I'm like, have you ever seen a baby be born? Yeah, the first time you see it, it's a game changer. But I mean, I see them all the time. I assist with them. So it's like, it wasn't really a big thing for me, the actual physically a baby coming out of a person, or a C-section, like a surgery happening. That wasn't a thing, but I wanted to expose my partner to those things. And we watched a couple videos. He did his own research. He watched some videos, and this man opted to say he wanted to catch the baby, which I am all for. I hope we can make that happen. I hope our baby makes that happen for us. Finding out the gender of our baby, oh my gosh, that was a task. So finding out the gender in the first trimester consists of having a blood test, because on an ultrasound you cannot see that at all. I just had my anatomy scan and I'm almost 20 weeks pregnant. And your anatomy scan is usually the ultrasound that tells you the sex of the baby. They scan you and they just look at all the organs, including the genital parts, and they make sure that everything is on the path of developing properly. What is available to us in America is we can get a blood test, which is typically not for finding out the gender, but it does. It's a blood test to check to see if there are any abnormalities, like chromosomal abnormalities, which when you combine two parents' DNA, they want to make sure that the DNA that's forming is normal. And in that test, they will tell you whether there is two X chromosomes, which would indicate that you're having a girl, or an X and a Y chromosome, which would indicate you're having a boy. So we decided to do that. So tip 1 for anyone, not just pregnant people: if you're going to have your blood drawn, hydrate, drink water. My veins are super tiny. The first prenatal labs that I got, it was like 10 to 15 tubes, and they had to fill all of them up with blood, and my body was not giving that much because I was not drinking enough water. I didn't eat. I went early in the morning, so I know, like, if I have to get any labs done, I need to have like a full course meal before and like liters of water. When they first got it, it was an error, and we had to do it over. So a week to 2 week process took more like 3 to 4 weeks to find out. But when we did, it was so amazing. Like, he wanted a boy and I wanted a girl. But when we found out what it was just like, we didn't even care anymore. We were just both on the same page, like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. We both had our anxieties, separate anxieties about raising this child. It's grown on us, the sex of our baby. In the beginning of my pregnancy, I didn't even want to do the blood test. I wanted to just wait till the anatomy scan, which I literally just had it this morning. Didn't want to do any of that until I actually saw what it was, which is, you know, the blood test is more accurate, but I mean, the ultrasound is more classic. So I wanted to wait, and he didn't want to, but I was okay with that. We are going to have a gender reveal. I'll talk more about that maybe in the second trimester video, how our gender reveal went. I'm hesitant to even say what the gender is. I did have plans to take a bump shot, but my belly is a 20-week belly at this point, and yeah, that's way past the first trimester. I'll put in my 4-month pregnant, and that was like when I told people I was pregnant, still in the first trimester, or just past the first trimester. But I think that's it in this video. I mean, I hope my lighting, my sound, the quality of this video is good, because this was a lot of work. This was a lot of work, but I'm happy to do this. I'm excited to film more videos. You know, if you made it this far, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for chit-chatting with me. Let me know what questions you have in the comments. Just, I don't know. Let's talk. This is a space to talk. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.